A retired Navy officer hides alone in a cabin high in the Norwegian mountains, trying to outlive the memories of his last war. One night, in the middle of a blizzard, an alien scientist and her silent metal bodyguard slam into his door carrying proof that everything he fought for was a lie. He opens the door anyway. This is his story. The wind came down from the peaks like it wanted the cabin gone. Snow slammed the windows. Outside, there was nothing but white, no trees, no road, no sky. Eric Halverson sat at the table with cold coffee. Above the stove, his old Navy coat hung from a nail, the faded patch of a ship that no longer existed, stitched to the sleeve. Up here, life was simple. Cut wood, fix leaks, survive winter. No admirals, no reports, no one asking what a scar war veteran was doing hiding in the Norwegian mountains. Something hit the outer wall hard enough to knock a spoon off the table. Eric was on his feet before it stopped spinning. That wasn't wind. He pulled on his coat, grabbed the pulse rifle, and stepped outside. The blizzard hit him like a fist. At first he saw nothing. Then a darker shape shifted near the cabin, a tall figure on its knees. Next to it, half buried, a metallic form coated in frost. "Hey!" Eric shouted. The figure turned. Her skin was copper-colored, glazed with ice. Small ridges ran along her cheeks. Her eyes were wide and black. Beside her, the machine resolved, humanoid, too clean. A blue light glowed faintly in its chest. "Please," the woman said, "do not fire. We are civilians." 10 years ago, that wouldn't have helped. Now he just saw two people about to freeze. He slung the rifle over his back. "Can you stand for a little longer?" He hooked an arm under her shoulders. She was lighter than she looked. "My guardian," she managed. He shut down to conserve power. "You're not metal. You first." He dragged her inside. Warmth hit them both. She flinched, then sagged. "Chair," he said, steering her to the stove. "Don't fight the shaking. That means you're still alive." He wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. Up close, he saw faint lines of light under her skin, thin patterns pulsing softly. "You're human," she said quietly. "Fleet. North Sea Command." His gaze flicked to the patch. "Used to be. Now it's just me and the weather." He went back out, dragged the machine inside, and propped it against the wall. The cabin suddenly seemed very small. "Name?" he asked. "Feeding the fire?" "Lysa. Arkin Institute. Data Sciences." "Eric." "Commander Halverson," she added. "Scar War. 10th Patrol Group." His jaw tightened. "Not anymore. Now it's wood, coffee, and bad timing." The machine chimed. Panels shifted along its chest. The blue strip brightened. "Status. Lysa. Environment. Threat level." "Alive. Indoors," she replied. "Threat level unclear." The band turned toward Eric. "Unregistered human. Armed. Unknown allegiance." "Also, the reason you're not rusting outside," Eric said. Gratitude acknowledged. Lysa winced as feeling returned to her hands. Eric wrapped them in a scarf. "You have questions," she said. "Why you? Why here? And who's chasing you?" She watched the fire. "I carry data from the Scar War, not the public record. The parts they erased, civilian strikes, illegal orders, experiments no one wants to own." "How?" She tapped her neck, where the glowing lines converged. "My nervous system, encrypted in layers. I am the archive." Why put that into a person? Because it is harder, officially, to erase a person. Hard drives do not have families who ask where they went. The machine spoke. Pursuit probability, high. Retrieval unit expected when visibility returns. "You brought them to my door," Eric said. I brought them back into your war, Lysa answered. You just decided it was over. He thought of the last mission. The civilians no one mentioned. I thought the Accord buried all that. They buried the proof, not the damage. Some of us believed memory was necessary. You cannot build peace on lies. Outside, the wind shifted, the storm was moving away. You could hand me over, she said. They will believe you. You keep your mountain, your silence. The machine's light pulsed. Storm attenuation increasing. Visibility window, 2 to 4 hours before pursuit resumes. Lysa's gaze stayed on him. In that time, you decide, are we your problem or your guests? He felt the old weight settle. No admirals now. No orders. Just one choice. Eric pulled on his coat and spread a map on the table. Guests, for now. Show me, he said to the machine. If you were them, how would you come in? Outside, something was already searching for Lysa. And now, for him too, by morning the sky was clear and cruel. Eric lay on the ridge with binoculars. Beside him, Carr crouched. Lysa watched the sky. Southern approach, Carr said. Easiest path. A gray shape slid from the clouds. Accord, dropship. I can blur the signal, Lysa said. Not erase, just move it. Carr raised his arm, panels opened, decoy projection. He fired. The air above the frozen creek shimmered. The dropship descended toward the fake. Eric stood. Stay here. If this goes bad, run north. Don't look back. And you? Lysa asked. I'll improvise. Been doing a lot of that lately. By the time he reached the valley, 8 armored figures were fanning out. Hey, Eric shouted. Weapons lifted. One soldier approached, visor scanning his tag. Commander Eric Halverson, retired. Sir, this is a classified retrieval op. On my mountain, Eric cut in. Without notice, we're tracking a hostile data carrier. High risk. We have full jurisdiction. You're chasing noise. Storm wrecked the electronics. On the ridge, a blue bolt cracked through the air, hitting snow in front of the squad. 2 soldiers went down. Sniper, Eric, didn't move. Local assets don't like uninvited guests. Next shot goes through your engines. Another bolt sheared off a rifle barrel. The officer's voice tightened. If you are sheltering the target, you are obstructing Accord security. I'm sheltering myself from another report full of unfortunate collateral. We've written enough of those, haven't we? The officer flinched. You know what she carries. You know why your commanders want her erased instead of heard. And you know what happens to witnesses when things go wrong. Silence stretched between them. You can say you saw nothing, Eric said softly. Signal corrupted. Negative contact. You go home. Or you push this, and this mountain becomes another place no one puts on a map. Behind the visor, the man's eyes were very young. We lost the trail, he said at last. Scanner damage. Storm interference. No visual. He signaled his squad back to the ship. As they passed, one soldier glanced at Eric. No salute, no threat, just a look that said he understood. The dropship lifted off and vanished into cloud. Eric turned back. Lysa and Carr were coming down. You chose not to kill them, Carr said. They chose to go home. I just gave them room. They'll file it as a glitch, Lysa said. Good. Their bosses like tidy failures. They will try again, Carr said. Different team. I know. They went back to the cabin one last time. Clothes, cartridges, tools, photos. Lysa retrieved a crystal core, a backup fragment. Carr reinforced his armor. Eric stood in the doorway and looked around the room that had kept him hidden for years. "You will miss it," Lysa said. "Maybe, but if I stay, it turns me into something I already feel like most days." "What?" "Leftover." He stepped outside and pulled the door shut. Snow was already drifting against the threshold. "Where do we go?" "North," Lysa said. "Old listening posts, dead arrays, places that remember how to hear, people who refuse to forget. Witnesses," Eric said. She nodded. Car started up the path. Lysa fell in behind him. Eric looked back once. From here, the cabin was just a dark box in white. In days, fresh snow would cover the trail completely. He turned and followed them into the mountains. The war he'd tried to outlive was still out there, buried in files and sealed rooms. But for the first time, he wasn't running from it. He was walking toward the only thing that might make it bearable. Not victory, not revenge, just the chance for someone, someday, to know what really happened and to know that at least one soldier chose to protect the truth instead of bury it.